Hello, it's me. I did not do a live stream last week because I did not feel very well. Because I think I had a... Oh, back again. Yes, so it was a bad smoothie. Maca, don't have it unless you know that it's not going to make you feel ill, basically. So I couldn't find a signal there. I don't know whether I'm just going to scoot down the stairs. Hello, everybody. All the millions of people coming to tune in to me, as always. So many people. My hair is still a bit wet. I just washed it. It's gone quite flat. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it goes sort of wavy. I'm not sure what's happening with it. Doesn't really matter, does it? Hello, I'm back. Yes, I'm back. I was not here last week, as I was just saying, because I had a bad smoothie. I did not feel very well. And the whole weekend, I've been meaning to do things and not doing them. It's just not great. I was like, I'll edit that video. So many videos that I had all through the summer that I haven't edited, and I keep saying, well, I'm going to edit it, and I haven't got, and then I looked at it and I've lost half the footage and I don't know where anything is, because I think I had 2 SD cards that have gone missing, and now I don't know what's happening really, but maybe one day they'll appear. But I was also going to make somebody asked me to do a Halloween film for them, which they're going to put on there. They're going to sort of live stream it, no, not live stream it, just stream it, and then I'll probably put it up on my channel just around Halloween. But then I didn't, because I forgot. Well, I didn't forget. I knew exactly what I wasn't doing. But it got to this morning, I was like, I should do this. But the thing is, I was going to use a pumpkin, so it's going to be a sort of Halloween thing. It's going to be a parody of several different things, and it was going to be amazing. But I thought, I'm in my shopping yesterday, I got an Ocado shop, and I put in loads of stuff that I didn't really need, and then I was like, I was going to take them out, but then I didn't, and then I had to have them. But one of the things that I put in was a pumpkin. But then by the time I looked at it again, I was going to add some more. It said the pumpkin was out of stock. So I got a slightly more expensive pumpkin that was organic. I thought, well, that's all right. It's not that much more. But I was expecting a nice size pumpkin. This is the pumpkin that I got. It's hand size, and it seems to have my initials on it though, E. It's not exactly a massive pumpkin, so I'm going to have to put it if I'm going to use it, ultra close up pumpkin. So I'm sort of, I had only sort of a germ of an idea what I was going to do, but it was going to involve a pumpkin in some way, and now it's going to just have to be adapted. So I don't know what I'm going to do. It was, yeah. And I'm sort of thinking about what the title's going to be. I think I sort of know. But, yeah. So it's supposed to be a Twilight Zone-y type of thing, but it's going to be obviously comedic. But in what way? Because all the plans that I had, I was like, and I'll do this, and I'll do that. And then this morning I was like, oh, why? So instead, I downloaded Sims Vampires, because I got Sims 4 a while ago for free. And I think what they really knew was then you were going to have to put on the add-ons, which were not for free, and then they'd make money that way. Now, I had put on Strangeville? Anyway, I put one of the things on, yes, Strangeville, a while ago. And I'd completely forgotten about it, ages and ages and ages ago. So I re-downloaded that today and thought, oh, they've got a sale on. So I put the vampire thing on. So I spent ages and ages and ages trying to wait for that to load after I'd downloaded it. And then I made one sim, just one, because it took so long, and it looked great, the great sim, and I moved them in, and I realised I didn't have enough money to make a good house, because I wasn't going to do you could do cheat codes, I'm always doing cheat codes, but I thought, oh, that boiler's just come on, I won't do cheat codes, I'll try and do it properly, but then that means I've got no money, and then they kept getting hungry, and I'm like, well, I'm probably going to have to turn them into a vampire so they don't get hungry. But then it was already like 3 hours in, and I'd only made some hair and a bathroom. So that's all I did this weekend. Basically, failed to make a vampire sim. And then I was like, I've downloaded this vampire thing, and yet I've done nothing vampire-y with it at all. And I've got no idea what to do. And it's supposed to be a game pack. It doesn't seem to have any extra game things. There was the Strangeville, at least you could have a sort of mystery where you were solving conspiracy theories and stuff with sort of alien pod creatures. But this one, it's It's got a couple of coffins. That seems to be the main difference. A couple of coffins, a gargoyle, and possibly you can turn yourself into a vampire. But then what? To what purpose? Vampires are what they were quite fashionable at one time, weren't they? Vampire movies, but they've gone out of fashion now. You get a lot of exorcism movies and also Wicker Man knockoffs. That's the big thing in which is probably what my parody is going to be. But I like the Wicker Man. It's a very jolly musical. If anybody's not seen it, I'm talking about the original, obviously not the Nicolas Cage remake. Why would I haven't seen that, except I have seen the trailer for that. The trailer where they make it into a comedy. The bees, this summer. Anyway, I have seen that, but I've seen, obviously, the one that they buried under a car park, that version of the Wicker Man, that they reinstated by digging it up and putting it all back together with all the musical numbers intact. But basically, as I said last week, I think, Midsummer, the Wicker Man. The third day, the Wicker Man. What else? Just all of it's the Wicker Man, isn't it? That's all. The Wicker Man. Zombies were a big thing for a while, but zombies have gone a little bit past it now. Goodbye, zombies. Off you pop. Had enough of you. Zombies, they outstayed their welcome. Lumber towards you. Zombie, zombie, zombie. Even the quick ones. Don't. I mean, I'm alright with zombies. Shaun of the Dead, that's a good zombie. Day of the Dead, that's a good zombie. Night of the Living Dead. Day of the Dead. Day of the Living Dead. Day of the Dead's not a zombie movie. That's just that's a Mexican festival. Day of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead, the George Romero type things. Evil Dead, which I know is more a sort of, not really movie zombies. They're devils. I suppose they sort of are though, because the devils inhabit the dead people and bring them back to zombie movies. It's very, what came up recently is somebody mentioned something about the Datura plant, and I was like, oh, I had one of those, which the zombie cucumber video. So I showed them that, and they're like, we're very glad that you didn't eat that zombie cucumber because it's very dangerous and you get very silly. Like apparently with the Datura, which is Jamestown, they said that Jamestown might have been, you know, where everybody disappeared and stuff, that or died, that they might have eaten this in the mistaken belief that since you can eat, it's because I think it's related to tomatoes and peppers. It's like, well, since you can eat tomatoes and peppers, obviously you can eat that. Let's eat that. It looks delicious. It looks like little tiny melons. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And they ate it, and then they all climbed up trees, and they were like, ah, we can fly, ah, and behaving like complete ends of bells. And so yes, so the zombie cucumber is a thing that you shouldn't eat. Pumpkin is edible. This is so big. Biggest pumpkin in the world. I bought a mini pumpkin a couple of years ago, and I think the mini pumpkin was bigger than this. It didn't say. That's it. It's just a picture of a pumpkin. This is how much you pay for the pumpkin. I wouldn't have spent that much on the pumpkin if I'd have known. There was another pumpkin. It was like a big giant white pumpkin. I say it was a big giant white pumpkin. Probably if I got it, it was out of stock, but it was about twice as much as this and probably half the size. And the people that got that stopped me getting this big giant tiny pumpkin, whatever it was, probably going to be massively disappointed, as was I, with this giant pumpkin head. My hat. What a lovely pumpkin hat. Does it stay on my head? See, I couldn't do that with a proper pumpkin, could I? I couldn't wear it as a hat. So, blessing in disguise. Talking of which, I've just seen a tweet made by the president of a particular country that isn't my country. He put one about being completely better again, and now it's not there anymore because Twitter decided that it was misinformation, which I'm not surprised about because it's been a week. That's all it's been. Surely you don't get over something like that in a week. I don't think anyway. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's completely fine. Well, it is a superb bonus. I'm trying to make a light of it. I'm trying to make it Happy days. I'm disappointed in my pumpkin and I'm trying to find a glimmer of hope in my tiny, tiny pumpkin. It is an edible pumpkin, but then again, all pumpkins are edible, so that's not a massive glimmer of hope. But it's an organic pumpkin, as you can see by the fact it's all sort of rotting and falling apart already because it hadn't got anything to stop it from going all wonky. Extra for something that's gone like that. Extra money it costs. So there's going to be enough for some soup. One tiny bowl of cup of soup of yum 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 yum. I've eaten it already. Ooh, what was good in my shopping though? I got so much stuff in my shopping. So much stuff, including several types of pretend bacon because I don't really eat bacon, but I do like me some fakey bacon, and so I got a couple of different types of that because I couldn't make up my mind and I had vouchers. Ooh, it's dark. So I got some fakey bacon. What fakey bacon did I get? Look at this. Quirky. That's very quirky the way they spelt it. Quirkee. Now this tastes horrible. I already opened it and it tastes horrible on its own. But I had it with some almond cheese in a sort of sandwich thing, and it was quite nice. But on its own, it's just like jerky. It's dry. A bit weird. And it's organic hat, so I don't know, Philip. Organic hats is something to see. I also got, it tastes really horrible. This is not something that you want to taste. It's just like, so hooray for getting something that cost me money and is disgusting. As fakey bacon goes, that's not great. But I'm going to take some of the, now I'm going to have this, which is Pimp My Salad coconut bacon, made out of coconuts. Yum yum. Coconut tea, which is also a bit like, no, what was successful that I got last week, this wasn't from the same shop, was this. Bacon dust, which does taste nice, and I think this is made of like yeast extract and pimentos and what else? Paprika and caramelized onions and stuff. This is nice. I recommend this. This is a powder. And what's really good about this is it's like a screw-on tin, because what tends to happen when I get tins and things like that is I drop them on the floor and the tin pops off the... Sorry, I've got Pimp My Salad coconut bacon stuck in my throat now. The top pops out and it goes everywhere. But this, it's because it's a screw-on one, it's staying in there. So I've had that on a lot of things this week. It's very nice. Another thing that I recommend is this, which has got extra vitamin D, which you need at the moment to keep you... See, dropping things on the floor. I didn't drop that on the floor. This is a thing for lighting the oven. So I've got that. But what I was really excited about is pomelo, which I've been pronouncing pomelo, which somebody that says they know better says it's a pomelo. So I was wrong. I'm prepared to admit I make mistakes. But look at that. Because on Ocado, I've been looking up on all of these online supermarkets, pomelo, and none of them have had it. But I think because I've typed it in so many times, because now I typed it in, it was like, new! Yes, just for me. So that's nice. It's not a freak lemon, it's a pomelo. This is the precursor to both grapefruits and oranges. Because what they did, I think they combined one of these with a tangerine or a satsuma or a mandarin, one of these. So what happened was they got one of these and they got, I can't do it with one hand. One of these, it's much larger than the pumpkin. You're right, it is bigger than the pumpkin. This is this thing. And this is the pumpkin, this thing. So let's see. Which is bigger? It's definitely the pomelo. But they got one of these. That's not the pumpkin. It may as well be the pumpkin. The pumpkin is about the same size as the tangerine. So, yeah. If they could combine this with this big heavy thing, then you get one of these oranges. So I've got so much fruit now, and I've also got some grapes. Look, these are candy floss grapes. Yeah, candy floss grapes, which I need to wash. I was going to eat one on camera, but I think given the situation with various different, so I'll just wash it. So this is the candy floss, which I'm going to eat this because it's going to take away the taste of those coconut weird, probably shouldn't have bought them, pimp my salad things. I'm hoping that they taste a lot nicer when you put them with something else. They have to, because they're not pleasant. But other things I got are these, because there was a lot of vouchers. That's one thing. These are coconut chocolate bites, and I got so I went a bit. So I put all these things in my shopping, and I was like, I'm just gonna take it out before I order it. But then I forgot. So this, which is caramel cacao coconut. I'm on a bit of a cacao kick at the moment, and I got some of these. Look, Karma Bites, pop lotus seeds. So I'm like, whoa, snacks, snacks, snacks. So I've gone a little bit snack happy here. I've got lots of snacks. Some of them aren't horrible. Some of them aren't horrible. Some of them are horrible. So yeah, but fruit and snacks. Can't go wrong with fruit and snacks. So I'm at work now in the week. So the weekend should be a time when I can do all the creative stuff and do amazing stuff. But no, hello, ho. You calling me ho? Oh, hoi. Hello. Yes. I don't know. Yeah, but it's not. It's basically where I'm just sitting there going, and then looking up things. I've been looking up land this week. I thought I'm going to look up land and wooden cabins and porta cabins and things, and I'll get some land. I'll save up. Quite a long time I'd have to save up. I probably need a mortgage. I don't know whether I could get a mortgage. I've never tried. But I could get the land, and then I could put the porta cabin or the log cabin on the top, and then I could go and live in that. But it turns out there's not that much land available, and it's all quite expensive and not great. But I did see quite near my parents' house. Did you see the video with the canyon, with the oldest used mine area that's turned into a canyon? Quite near there was a piece of land, 2 acres of land, which is basically an old disused mine, but it's not quite as picturesque as the canyon. It's basically a load of slag heaps that have been flattened down. But it's $49,995, which everyone says is quite a lot of money for 2 acres of land that hasn't got any planning permission. But I still want it because it's like a sort of disused mine. And I thought, well, I could just like hire it out and do Doctor Who filming on it or something. And then I could put a porta cabin on it so they could have... Sorry, I've still got that coconut bacon in my throat. Never get rid of it. So I could hire... There's not probably much filming going on at the moment. It's probably not the best time to get something where you're going to get people filming. But it is isolated, so I suppose they could social distance on this land far, far away from anywhere else. But then it's far, far away from really... Because when I went up there, because it's just near also Llanhilleth, where I went there and I saw St. Illtyd's Church, which is on the top of a mountain, which is just over, so it's sort of in the same area. It's quite far up. Because I went to see St. Illtyd's Church, I think 2 or 3 years ago. I've lost track now. Yes, I could make a secret evil genius bunker in the old man. I could do that. So I don't know whether it's an open cast mine or a deep mine. Because I'm thinking maybe if I bought this £49,000 worth of land, which I don't have the money for that, but if I did, maybe there's still coal there. And I could dig a big hole, a coal hole, and sell the coal to who still does coal. Donald Trump likes coal, doesn't he? I could sell the Trump to Donald Cole, or the other way around. And that's what I could do. But yes, haunted. Now it's quite near. It's called Pentis Tip. I think it's where Pentis Colliery was, sort of in that area. But just up from there was a tip. It was a colliery. And then for quite a long time, people just used to go there and tip their rubbish in. It was an official tip. And then they covered it all up, but now it's a nature reserve, so it's right near to a nature reserve. So maybe I could turn it into another nature reserve and get people to come, and they could come onto the land and yes, artisanal coal, exactly. But everyone's saying it's quite expensive for 2 acres of fairly useless land. But got some trees. It's narrow as well. So it's 2 acres of narrow land, not like big sort of like, because I think an acre is about a foot, just a bit less or a bit more than a football field. Basically, it's 2 football fields worth of, yeah, maybe there's gems in the mine. It's the wrong area for gems, I think. I thought maybe there's Welsh gold in this area, but Welsh gold is more, the seam of the Welsh gold is a little bit, I think it's sort of on the edge of the anthracite mines. I think there's 2 sorts of coal, and I can't remember. I think there's the good coal and the sort of smoky coal, and this is one of those. But one of them has got more likelihood of having diamonds and gold on it, and this is the wrong sort, I think. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I bought it and I'd have silver and gold and tin and copper and precious gems and opals and rubies and emeralds and all other things. Living the dream. But in all likelihood, if I did tin, yeah, tin mine, that's a mint. I'm just thinking of all things you can mine. Tin, if you get enough of it, maybe not valuable in very small amounts, but if there's a big seam of tin, dig. Cornwall, built on tin. Cornwall's not very rich at the moment because tin isn't, but they've got gold as well. Maybe gold comes next to tin. Sapphire and steel and tin. That would have been a very different 1970s TV series. Because they were all named after elements, weren't they? Sapphire and steel and cobalt and radion and tin. That's the names of the others. So they focused on sapphire and steel because that was more. But steel is actually it's not an element, is it? It's a mixture of iron and something else. So steel was a hybrid. Steel was an amalgam, an alloy. He was an alloy. Was he an alloy? Probably not. But he was an alloy. Sapphire, that's purity, but steel, very, very tough, very strong. But anyway, I don't know where I'm going with that. It's gone a little bit dark, and maybe, yeah, we don't want to talk about purity. Purity's not good. Yes, you need to have steel. What am I talking about? I've just gone completely off the beaten track here. I'm just like thinking, what am I saying? This is weird. Anyway, so yeah, my week, basically, my week's been me talking to people about British history. Yeah, we've been doing stuff about King Alfred the Great and Ethelred, who is the father of Edward the Confessor. Oh, me and history. Oh, we get on so well. Yes, Edward the Confessor, and then Harold, and then did you know Harold and Harold were both trying to vie for the throne before William came in? I didn't. I do now. Harold, spelt quite slightly differently, who was I can't remember his name. Hardnut or something. No, that was his dad. Harold Hardnut. Hardicanute. Yeah. Anyway. Something like that. He died before he managed to get the throne, but he probably was the next in it. When you look at them, they're all related. But the Danish guy that came over and tried to get the throne from Harold was also called Harold, and probably deserved it more than Harold, who was just the brother-in-law of the wife of the king, and then I don't know, it gets very complicated around that time, but when you realise how many people have come to Britain, it's like, I mean, even the Celts, they were in Austria and Spain and North Africa, where they fought with the Carthaginians, yeah, and then they went to Greece, and then they went to Gaul, which is in France, and then they got kicked by the Romans into Britain, and then they got kicked into Wales, and so even the Welsh people, of which I am one, and I have a very strong, very deep seam name of Celt, but Celt turns out to be nothing really. Celt turns out to be everyone that sort of joined in trying to fight the Romans, including everyone, basically, everyone from everywhere. And they didn't really succeed, so they said, "Oh, we're Keltoi, we're real." What are we? I don't know. Let's escape. So there is, apart from the Picts, I think the Picts were in Britain for a long time. And obviously, the Cheddar Man, who they found, who had sort of dark skin and blue eyes, very striking lad he was. He was the earliest known British person, but apart from that, nobody really, because there was an Ice Age too. So nobody in the last 2,000 to 4,000 years that has lived in Britain can really say that Britain is the place where their ancestors started. But who can say that, really? Nobody, really. Some people can, but not anybody from Britain. Nobody. We're all a mixture of everything that's ever come to Britain. Oh, that Britain. There's a lot of tin and copper and gold and coal, and that's why they came here. Cheddar Man was very cheesed off. He was like, "Get off my land." And then he buried himself quite near Stonehenge because he was like, "I can't be dealing with this anymore. All these people coming in. Eating my cheese. Who moved my cheese?" That's a very famous book from... It's not a famous book. I read that. Have you had... Yeah, he did. Who Moved My Cheese? I was introduced to at college. Somebody said, this is a really good self-help book about something. Eating cheese. I'm sure it was something very important. But I mentioned it to people since then, saying there's this self-help book called Who Moved My Cheese? And everyone's like, don't be silly. That's not real. You've imagined that. But it's not. It's a real thing. Who moved my cheese? I think it's about trying to set goals and then realising that those goals were different goals. I don't know what it's about. It's not about cheese. Apparently not about cheese. Anyway, this has gone a little bit off the beaten track. As is my land, off the beacon. Oh, it's not my land yet. Get off my land. Gonna go there and farm. It's not suitable for farming either, apparently, because it's a wasteland full of just old bits of broken coal that nobody really wanted anymore. And it's not my land, so I shouldn't be sad that my land is rubbish. Yeah, go fund me. Fund me for 2 acres of useless land made of nothing but dirt and bits of old coal dust and slag. Give me 49,000 for some slag. Yeah. It exists. What exists? Who Moved My Cheese exists. Of course it exists. I don't make things up. Everything I say is true, even though it sounds like a load of old rubbish. It is completely and utterly true. I would not mislead you. I am not fake news. I'm real news. It's all absolutely true. As I said, I don't know what it's about. I did read it at the time, but it's a long time ago. A long time, far in the distant past. Yeah. Yes, exactly. I can send you some kafili very carefully, because it would rot in the post, wouldn't it? You have to wrap it properly. Tesco, stop selling kafili cheese. Oh my goodness me. You'll have to just move to Wales. That's where all the sensible people went, like the Celts and the people that came before. The Celts. They were here before the Saxons and the Anglos and Angles and the Jutes and the Vikings and the Normans, who were basically Vikings that have lived in France for a while, and then like, aha, we're Frenchified now, let's take over everything. And the other people. Yeah. None of those people. They all came in and drove the Celts into the corners. And that's where they will be. And probably if I dig up my land, my old slaggy two acres of nothingness, they'd probably find remnants of the Celts. But also the Silures. I'm quite Silures. It's where the Silures lived. That is where, see, this is why I really want it, is because it's the heartland of the Silures, the Silurians. And so, if I dig deep enough, I might find some Silurians deep, and they'd be all lizard creatures. Except, obviously, the Silures was an ancient British tribe that lived in that area, exactly where my £49,000 of mine is. Exactly like that Doctor Who episode, really. And then I dig really deep down to the heart of the world, and then I dig up the lizard people who are also the Welsh tribe, and I'm getting it all a bit mixed up now, aren't I? Yeah. Yes. Kilts are fairly recent. I think you'll find that the kilts was an invention of somebody that wanted to make it all look really. So kilts aren't really anciently Scottish. They are a fairly modern invention, sadly. The yeah, the ancient Picts and the Celts that went up there as well to join with the ancient Picts and all the others did not wear the kilt. The kilt is I think most things you think of as traditional turn out not to be. It's all quite sad, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to rest my voice now because I have to go back to work tomorrow. It was the 19th script, right? Yes, they all got confused. Yes, it's the Silures, the Silurians. Are they Welsh? No, they're lizards. Are they lizards? Oh, yes, the Illuminati. The Welsh are the Illuminati. They're the lizard people, yes. Talking as a Welsh lizard person, yes. I know everything. That's it as well. This is one thing this week. Yes, probably Walter Scott, because it was in his name. He's like, Walter Scott, go build a monument on my behalf, and I will write you some kilty things about kilts. And it turns out that Auld Lang Syne wasn't written by Robbie Burns either. He just heard somebody else singing it and then said, oh, I'll turn it into a poem. And then everyone's like, it was his. He's like, no, I sort of... It's somebody else's. I don't know who. It's old, but it turns out that it wasn't that old. Somebody that he'd heard singing it in a pub had heard. It's not that old, but it's not him either. And I was going somewhere with this. Where was I going with it? I'm not quite sure. Oh yes, on Facebook, somebody called Jacob Rothschild tried to friend me, and some other people as well, and I was like, that can't be the Jacob Rothschild, and I think it probably isn't, but it's all about Illuminati and everything. But obviously, being one of the Welsh lizard people, the Silures, I don't need to join the Illuminati. I just go to camp on my my big slag heap land and just drink the blood of coal. I don't know what lizard people do. What do lizards eat anyway? Bugs. I'll eat bugs. That's what I'll do on my land. There's probably loads of bugs. There's beetles and rolling stones and I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it there. Really, now I've talked myself into a big rabbit hole of rubbish ridiculousness. But at least I've got a pomelo, yeah. So I will see you next week, and I will try and get some of my videos done. But I keep promising that, don't I? And yet, no sign of them, because I just sit there and just go. Oh. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Thank you for joining me, all 6 of you. Thank you for the like. Like and subscribe, everyone. You have a good night too, Richard. Richard the Red. Richard the Red. You related to Ethelred or Leif Erikson's dad? He was Eric the Red, wasn't he? Maybe not. Maybe. Bye bye. See you soon. See you soon. Thank you for the other thumbs up. Thumbs up are always good to have. Bye bye.